Emotions are one of the most fascinating gifts given to humanity. They give color to our experiences, turning simple moments into memories, and ordinary actions into expressions of passion and meaning. But the same emotions that make life beautiful can also make it unbearable when left without control. Feelings were never designed to lead us, they were meant to serve us. They are excellent servants but terrible masters. When emotions take charge, reason becomes clouded, judgment becomes weak, and destiny is put in danger. Every great downfall in history, whether personal or societal, often begins when emotion replaces wisdom. The heart, while sincere, can be impulsive. It reacts to what is immediate, not to what is eternal. That is why the mind must always be in command, guiding the heart toward purpose instead of pleasure. Think about how many people have lost golden opportunities simply because they reacted rather than reflected. A single word spoken in anger has destroyed years of friendship. A decision made in fear has closed the door to progress. A choice driven by jealousy has turned love into bitterness. Emotions can move fast, but they rarely see far. They are temporary storms that feel permanent in the moment, but once they pass, they leave behind consequences that can last a lifetime. That is why learning to manage your emotions is not optional, it is essential. To master your destiny, you must first master yourself, and mastering yourself begins with mastering your emotions. Emotions themselves are not the problem. They are signals, indicators of what's happening inside. They alert us to danger, help us express love, and guide us to what we value. But when those signals become commands, when we obey our feelings instead of understanding them, we lose our balance. Imagine a ship in the ocean guided only by the waves instead of the compass. It will move constantly but never reach its destination. Such is the life of a person controlled by emotion. They are always moving, but rarely progressing. True wisdom is not about suppressing how you feel, it's about directing how you respond. Control is not coldness, it's maturity. It's the strength to pause before reacting, the patience to think before speaking, and the vision to act with purpose rather than impulse. The one who controls their emotions doesn't live a life of denial, they live a life of design. They know that emotions are energy and energy must be channeled, not wasted. Anger can become passion for justice. Fear can transform into careful strategy. Sadness can deepen empathy. When emotions serve purpose, they become power. So the challenge is clear: learn to feel, but not to be led by what you feel. Let emotions inform you, but never let them define you. The heart was created to follow vision, not to create it. Control your feelings before they control you, and you will discover peace, purpose, and strength that no storm in life can shake. Self-discipline is the foundation upon which emotional control is built. Without discipline, emotions act like untamed horses, strong, wild, and unpredictable. Discipline is the rein that keeps them guided in the right direction. Every person who desires to live a stable, productive, and meaningful life must learn the art of mastering self before mastering anything else. You cannot lead others if you cannot lead yourself. And you cannot lead yourself if your emotions are constantly in control of you. Discipline is not a restriction, it is protection. It guards you from your own impulses and shields your destiny from being destroyed by temporary feelings. It's the invisible wall that separates success from failure, maturity from immaturity, and peace from chaos. Many people believe that emotional control comes naturally, but in truth it is trained through consistent practice. The same way muscles grow through resistance, emotional stability grows through moments of testing. When you are provoked but choose patience, you strengthen your character. When you feel fear but act in faith, you expand your courage. When you face disappointment but continue with hope, you build endurance. Discipline is developed in those quiet decisions when no one is watching, when you could react impulsively, but instead choose wisdom. The more you train yourself to respond with thought instead of reaction, the stronger your inner life becomes. Self-discipline also means making decisions that your feelings may not agree with, but your purpose demands. There will be times when your emotions say, give up, but your vision says, keep going. There will be moments when your heart wants comfort, but your destiny requires sacrifice. It is in these moments that discipline speaks louder than emotion. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain average is not talent, it is control. Talent can take you to the top, but discipline keeps you there. Without discipline, emotions can lead to distraction, distraction leads to delay, and delay leads to regret. Discipline is the bridge between your emotions and your destiny. It helps you respond with balance even when life feels unstable. It reminds you that feelings are temporary, but principles are permanent. A disciplined person does not allow emotions to dictate behavior. Instead, they use principles to govern emotions. They understand that saying no to temporary pleasure is not loss. It's investment. Every time you choose discipline over emotion, you are building strength for the future. You are teaching your heart that it must follow reason, not rule over it. Ultimately, discipline leads to peace. A person who controls themselves does not live at the mercy of their mood. They are not driven by the ups and downs of feeling, but guided by the consistency of purpose. Self-discipline gives you emotional balance, mental clarity, and spiritual maturity. It transforms chaos into calm and confusion into confidence. When you master yourself, your emotions no longer lead you into storms. They serve you as winds that push you toward your destination. One of the greatest mistakes people make is allowing temporary emotions to create permanent consequences. Feelings are like waves, they rise, crash and fade, but decisions last long after the wave is gone. Acting out of anger, fear, or excitement can lead to outcomes that cannot easily be reversed. That is why wisdom demands patience. When emotions are high, judgment is low. The heart beats fast, the mind becomes clouded, and reason is drowned beneath impulse. In that moment, a single word, action, or decision can change everything. The person who learns to pause, breathe, and wait before making choices learns the secret of peace and progress. Every emotion carries a message, but not every message should lead to movement. Anger may tell you that something feels unjust, but acting on it immediately may cause harm. Fear may warn you of danger, but listening to it too much can paralyze you. Excitement may push you to seize an opportunity, but without reflection it can lead you into traps. The wise person listens to emotion as information, not as instruction. They feel deeply, but they think clearly. They understand that emotions are meant to assist decision-making, not replace it. How many lives have been altered by a word spoken in a moment of rage? How many relationships have been broken by actions taken in jealousy or pride? How many dreams have been abandoned because fear convinced someone to quit too soon? These are not failures of ability. They are failures of control. When you let emotions lead, you become a victim of the moment. When you take control, you become the author of your future. Emotions may tell you what is happening now, but only wisdom knows where those actions will take you later. Patience is not weakness, it is the strength to wait for the right perspective. When you allow time to settle your emotions, clarity returns. The storm in your heart quiets and truth becomes visible again. The calm mind sees farther than the angry one. The still heart hears more clearly than the anxious one. The person who pauses before acting gains power, because they are not ruled by the heat of the moment, but by the light of understanding. Every decision you make while emotional is like writing your future with trembling hands, unclear and unstable. But when you calm your emotions, your decisions become guided by intention rather than reaction. Never allow a passing feeling to shape a permanent reality. Let the storm pass before you steer the ship. Those who master the art of waiting never live with regret. Remember, emotions come to visit, but consequences come to stay. Choose to act from purpose, not passion, and your life will always move toward peace and wisdom. Emotional maturity is one of the clearest signs of true growth. It is not measured by how old you are, how educated you have become, or how successful you appear to others. It is measured by how you handle what you feel. Maturity is the ability to respond to life instead of reacting to it. It means choosing wisdom over impulse, peace over pride, and understanding over anger. When a person grows emotionally, they no longer allow their feelings to dictate their behavior. They recognize that emotions are part of being human, but being human also means having the power to choose how to express them. Life constantly presents situations that test emotional maturity. Someone may offend you, and your first feeling is anger. Someone may disappoint you, and your instinct is to withdraw or retaliate. But emotional maturity teaches you that you don't have to obey your first reaction. You can pause, reflect, and choose a better response. Maturity means understanding that you can't control everything around you, but you can control everything within you. When you master that truth, you become unshakable. You stop allowing people's behavior to control your peace, and you stop giving circumstances power over your attitude. An emotionally mature person sees the bigger picture. They understand that every reaction either builds their future or breaks it. Instead of arguing to be right, they choose to stay calm to remain wise. Instead of holding grudges, they forgive, not because others deserve it, but because they refuse to carry the poison of bitterness. Instead of panicking in crisis, they stay grounded, trusting that storms pass and lessons remain. This level of self-control is not natural. It is developed through time, reflection, and self-awareness. Each challenge you face becomes an opportunity to grow stronger inside. Emotional maturity also reflects spiritual and mental development. It shows that your inner world is governed by principles, not emotions. When your peace is no longer determined by how others treat you, but by how you choose to respond, you have reached a higher level of living. You no longer seek approval to feel secure, nor do you need control to feel confident. You become centered, balanced, and wise. People who are emotionally mature carry a quiet power. They don't shout to be heard. Their calmness speaks louder than noise. They don't react to every problem, they respond with discernment and composure. In the end, emotional maturity is not about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering them. It's knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to wait, when to let go and when to stand firm. It is a discipline that turns pain into wisdom and disappointment into understanding. The more you grow emotionally, the more peaceful, purposeful, and powerful your life becomes. Awareness is the starting point of emotional control. You cannot master what you do not understand. Many people are ruled by their emotions because they move through life unaware of what truly drives them. They react to situations without realizing the hidden triggers that shape their responses. Awareness brings light to those hidden corners of the heart and mind. It helps you see why you feel what you feel and how those feelings influence your behavior. The moment you become aware, you gain power. The power to choose differently, to respond wisely, and to guide your emotions instead of being guided by them. When you recognize your emotional triggers, you break the pattern that once controlled you. For example, if criticism instantly makes you defensive, awareness helps you pause and ask, why does this hurt me so much? If disappointment turns to despair, awareness allows you to see that your expectations may need adjustment. It is not the emotion itself that controls you, it is your lack of understanding of it. Awareness transforms reaction into reflection. It turns confusion into clarity. It gives you the ability to observe your feelings without being consumed by them. Self-awareness also deepens emotional intelligence. You begin to notice how your mood affects others, how your words carry emotional weight, and how your energy influences your environment. The more aware you are, the more responsible you become. You stop blaming others for your reactions, because you understand that no one can make you feel something unless you allow it. Awareness shifts the focus from others' behavior to your own response. That shift is where real strength lies. It is not about controlling people, it is about controlling yourself. Building awareness requires honesty. You must be willing to face the truth about yourself, your insecurities, fears, and unhealed wounds. Many people avoid this inner work because it feels uncomfortable, but it is the only path to freedom. When you identify the root of your emotions, you stop treating symptoms and start addressing causes. You stop asking, why am I angry? And start realizing, I feel unheard. You stop saying, I'm afraid, and start understanding, I doubt my own ability. Awareness gives meaning to emotion, and meaning gives you mastery. Practicing awareness daily keeps your emotions in check. Take time to pause, breathe, and ask yourself what you are truly feeling and why. Write it down if needed. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Over time you'll notice patterns, times of day, specific people, or particular situations that affect your emotions. Once you recognize them, you can prepare yourself to respond with control. Awareness is not perfection, it's progress. It is the daily habit of staying conscious, calm, and connected to your inner world. When you live with awareness, you no longer drift through emotional chaos. You walk with clarity, confidence, and control, turning every feeling into a lesson and every moment into growth. Emotions are powerful forces, and when directed properly, they can become energy for growth instead of destruction. Every emotion you feel carries energy. Anger, fear, joy, sadness, excitement. All of them hold potential power. The secret lies in how you channel that energy. Most people waste their emotions by reacting impulsively, letting anger turn to rage or fear turn to paralysis. But those who learn to harness emotional energy turn pain into purpose and frustration into fuel. The energy that could destroy you can also build you, if you choose to direct it towards something meaningful. The difference between those who rise after difficulty and those who fall lies in how they transform their emotions. When anger is uncontrolled, it leads to conflict, but when channeled, it becomes determination. It can push you to stand for justice, to correct what is wrong, and to strive for improvement. Fear, when unmanaged, causes retreat, but when understood, it becomes awareness, a signal to prepare, plan, and act carefully. Even sadness, when embraced instead of suppressed, can deepen your empathy, connecting you more sincerely with others. Joy, when grounded in gratitude, becomes a source of strength that carries you through dark seasons. Every emotion can serve a higher purpose when you discipline it to work for you instead of against you. Transforming emotion into energy requires mindfulness and intention. It begins by pausing to recognize what you feel instead of being consumed by it. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Emotions are not enemies, they are messengers. Anger may reveal your passion for fairness, fear may show your need for preparation, and disappointment may remind you of misplaced expectations. Once you identify the lesson, you can redirect the energy toward productive action. Instead of shouting, you start building. Instead of quitting, you start planning. Instead of blaming, you start growing. Emotional transformation also demands self-control. Power without direction is dangerous. A waterfall looks magnificent, but only when channeled through turbines does it create electricity. The same is true of emotion. It becomes powerful when guided by purpose. Passion without wisdom burns out quickly, but passion combined with understanding becomes unstoppable. That's why you must give your emotions a mission. Let your anger push you to change, your sadness lead you to compassion, and your fear inspire courage. Every emotion has a place in your journey when it's disciplined by purpose. In the end, emotion itself is not bad. It is neutral. It only takes shape based on how you use it. You can allow it to control you and destroy your peace, or you can master it and use it as energy to reach your destiny. When you learn to transform emotion into motivation, your life gains direction and depth. You stop reacting to what happens and start creating what's possible. That is the true power of emotional mastery, turning your inner storms into winds that propel you forward. Inner peace is one of the greatest rewards of mastering your emotions. It is the quiet strength that allows you to stay calm, even when everything around you is chaotic. A person who rules their feelings lives with clarity and confidence because their emotions no longer dictate their direction. They don't depend on external circumstances to feel stable. Their peace comes from within. When you learn to control your emotions, you create a space inside you that no one can disturb. Peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of self-control in the midst of them. It is knowing that while you may not control everything that happens, you always control how you respond. When your emotions rule you, your life becomes unpredictable. You are happy one moment, angry the next, confident today and fearful tomorrow. Such instability drains your energy and weakens your focus. But when you gain control, your emotions begin to serve you instead of sabotage you. You no longer waste strength fighting inner storms. You preserve that energy for progress, purpose, and peace. The one who governs their emotions commands their life with grace. They make decisions based on values, not moods, on wisdom, not impulse. That calm consistency gives them authority, influence, and respect. Inner peace also brings clarity. When your emotions are settled, your mind becomes clear and your vision becomes sharp. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You think before speaking, act before regretting, and respond before reacting. This clarity protects you from confusion and chaos. It allows you to move through challenges with stability, knowing that no external force can disturb the stillness within you. A peaceful heart is a powerful weapon. It disarms conflict, softens tension, and attracts solutions. People who carry inner peace naturally lead others because their calmness inspires trust. Reaching inner peace requires daily practice. You must learn to quiet your mind, guard your heart, and monitor your thoughts. Whenever your emotions rise, take a moment to pause, breathe, and observe what you feel. Do not rush to react. Every moment of calmness is a victory over chaos. Over time, you begin to notice that things which once upset you no longer have the same power. You stop chasing validation, stop reacting to negativity, and stop allowing others to steal your peace. You begin to move through life like a steady river, strong, calm, and unstoppable. Ultimately, controlling your emotions is not about being emotionless, it is about being free. Freedom is not doing whatever you feel, it is having the power to choose how you feel. Inner peace is the fruit of that freedom. When you rule your feelings, no storm can shake you, no insult can break you, and no failure can define you. You live in control, not in chaos. And that control turns your heart into a place of peace, your mind into a source of strength, and your life into a reflection of purpose.